Alrighty, at the time that I'm recording this, the Canucks and the Dallas Stars have less than 10 minutes left. Now, what's got everybody going nuts on Twitter right now is this. So Pedersen is in on a slap shot, or in on a penalty shot, I should say. And if you can see there, yeah, Hudobin kind of throws his stick. So the question being asked, and it's out there, and the reason this is a video topic is because people are saying, why can't the NHL review this? This should be reviewable. It's not reviewable. Right now, though, the Canucks are up 2-1, though the shots are 9-3 for Dallas in the third. So far, so good. So Markstrom. And that's kind of been the way things have been with Vancouver all year. Markstrom's been the one that's really holding them in this. I'm not in favor of expanding what you can or can't review. This week, Toronto fans were angry over goalies knocking the net off. In the one case, I want to say the Delia case, the net was off and then he knocked it further off. I'm more taken aback by the fact that linesmen don't just put the net back on and referees aren't just putting the nets back on. I've seen them do it before. I know it can be done, so I'm not sure why they don't do it. But, they don't. Or maybe goaltenders, once the puck's cleared out, they should be required to turn around and put the net back on. There's some talk at the NHL level about making it so these magnets that they currently have holding the net in place get replaced with something a little more sturdy. Now, of course, the reason that we have nets that just push off is because players were getting severely injured going into the net. The thing is, when they were giant steel rods that went 6 inches into the ice, nobody was crashing the net quite like they do now. That reckless abandon did not exist because people didn't want to end up decapitated, dead, that kind of thing. So the NHL is looking for something that won't necessarily lead to more injuries, but something that will hold the net on. Now, I'm not sure how you do that. I think it's either you have it so there's pegs in the ice, and you go to players and say, hey, the net is attached again because the net keeps coming off too easily. Goaltenders, the net is attached again, so the only way you can pull it off is if you put your shoulder into it and lift it and push it back. Goalies used to do that too. Get underneath the net, kind of push it up with your shoulder. Whoops, it's off. And that's been a thing for decades. I'm not a fan of anything that would lead to a ton more reviews. I don't want that. And more judgment calls being made by Toronto. There have been bad calls in hockey for as long as hockey's existed. There have. And as long as I've watched hockey, there have been bad calls. Because what happens eventually is, well, why can't we do a review of a penalty? Because think about it. Your team's down 3-2 with 4 minutes left. The other team clearly commits a penalty. The referee misses it. That's a key moment in a game. If we're going to start talking about how, they should be able to call this and this and this and do a review on that and that, you eventually end up to the point where they're on the headset for everything. Was that a penalty? Oh, yeah, no, we missed that. That was a penalty. Or even worse, no, we looked at the replay and that's not a penalty. We've decided from that angle it didn't look like a trip. So the NHL is in a tough position here where we've got this game that's fast and it's exciting and there's goals in it. We finally got the game to where we want it. And now there's people saying maybe we should have reviews for goalies pushing nets off. Maybe we should have reviews for, in this case, Anton Hudobin throwing his stick towards the puck carrier on a penalty shot. And honestly, if Hudobin saw the shootout goal move that was made by Peterson the other night, maybe that's why he did it. Maybe he said to himself, you know what? I can't stop this kid. He's in close. I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to throw my stick at it. And they didn't call it. And that's that. It's not reviewable. There are a lot of plays that are currently not reviewable that if they were, I'm telling you, it would ground the game to a halt. Because eventually, everything's getting reviewed, and we'd have to take out that whole idea that coach only gets one review in a game. If we're going to start reviewing a bunch more stuff, it would probably be like 3 reviews to a game, maybe 2, but at least 2. Because if we're going to add more things that are reviewable, you have to give a coach more chances to call for review. Not only that, but think about it. On the same play, you could go, that was offside, that was goalie interference, We think there was a penalty on the play. Like, yeah, you could have a referee on a headset for 10, 12 minutes. Referees are fallible. Linesmen are fallible. It sucks. But again, on the upside, 5:32 left. The Canucks are up 2-1. If they win the game, it's more of an annoyance than anything. Yes, it would have been nice to see him score a shootout goal. Hudobin decided, I'm not even facing a shot here, and tossed the stick at him. Players don't see that coming. And I apologize, but again, I'm not a fan of the idea of expanding reviews, because it's this whole other realm you're opening up where everything is reviewable. And I've watched football games where it seems to take forever. You're like, oh man, are they reviewing this too? Oh, and then you're watching replays and you're like, clearly his feet are both in bounds. Why are we still? Oh, what in the world's going on? So, yeah, you have situations where a game can be made a little bit longer than it should be. And there are certain things that lines you don't want to cross. I think it's the officials making their calls on the ice, just the same as balls and strikes in baseball. You have different umpires in baseball have different strike zones. It's weird because everything that's a strike should be a strike, right? Not necessarily. Depends on the umpire. So, in this case, did they miss it? Yes. I definitely think they missed it. And because Hudobin throws his stick at Pettersson, that's supposed to be a goal. They're supposed to award a goal, and it's been done earlier this year. Ovechkin was awarded a goal in a shootout on a very similar play. This wasn't quite as egregious, but he still throws his stick at the puck carrier. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just haven't fun this video. Now I got to watch the rest of this game, and I'll be doing a review tonight on all 7 games that are on this board. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.